In today's video, I'm going to be going over the code for question number 4. And in my code, there's parts of part 1 and part 2 all mixed together to ensure that it's um, more efficient. So I'm going to just be going line by line and explaining what this code means. So first of all, the task for part 1 was to create a Python program that processed command line arguments. So it accepted 6 arguments corresponding to 2 sets of cars, specifically the make, the model, and the year. And then it output the data in this format and replaced the index with 1 for the first set of arguments and 2 for the second set. For part 2, we were just required to generate error and warning messages if what was inputted could not be processed. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. My first line, we are importing sys. And so importing sys, this is a module, and it's going to allow to access command line arguments by using sys.argv or argument and other system-related uses. Then I decided to create a function called main just to store where all of the code is going to be. The fourth line here. So this is going to check the length of the argument. And if this length is not equal to 7, it's going to print an error message that states that the number of arguments provided is incorrect and that we expect 6 arguments. So it's basically checking if the number of command line arguments provided is exactly 7. So why 7? 1 is for the script name, and then 6 is for the additional arguments. And so the system exit 1 is going to terminate the program if the non-zero, if it's a non-zero exit code. Next, we have this line right here, and it's going to extract 6 command line arguments from system argument 1 to system argument 6, and then assign them to make 1, model 1, year 1, make 2, model 2, and year 2. And it's going to, in the second line here, we're going to initialize this empty list in order to store warnings for invalid year values. Next, we're going to validate the years. So try, it's essentially going to contain this line, which tries to convert year 1 into an integer. And so if this is successful, the program is going to continue, but if not, it's going to generate this warning right here, which we got from the instructions. We're going to do the same with year 2. And then we reach this line right here. And this is going to iterate each warning message in the invalid years list. Last but not least, we're going to want to print the following. As you can see, it was part of the part 1 instructions. So this is the format that we're using, and we're going to call these variables right here. And then this is just going to ensure that the function runs when executed and it isn't imported as a module. And so that is the code for question number 4.